Hey G fans, GojiFan93 here, and well, I have finally watched the Rebirth of Mothra 3, so I finally finished that trilogy, and wow, I am blown away. This movie it's the best out of this whole trilogy. There's a lot that I want to talk about, so let's get to it. This will contain spoilers, so if anyone hasn't seen this movie, then watch it now before you watch this. So just telling you, warning, spoiler alert. Okay, first off, the opening scenes are great. Like, it has a dark tone, it's serious, it's not funny, campy, anything like that. It's actually really, really good, and it gets you sucked in, and you're like, you know, you want to know what's going on. I really like that. So pretty much there's the villain Belvera or something. She comes down into like this weird temple looking room, and she's trying to open this chest which has this like these three, it's kind of like a Triforce thing of Zelda. That's actually what I thought a lot about with this movie. I thought a lot about, because they have like these three virtues of like these little emblem, I don't know what, little stone things or whatever, and each of them represents something. I think it was courage, love, and what was the other one? Shit. I think it was courage, love, and wisdom, if I'm not mistaken. But it just reminds me of the Triforce from Zelda, you know, because that also had three virtues and stuff, including like power, courage, and wisdom or something like that. But anyways, so she's trying to take that, and then the two other, our main fairies, Mole and Laura, they come and try and tell her, you know, what are you doing and stuff. And I guess they have like these swords now that they can put those little stone virtue things into them, and it powers up the swords. So that, I mean, that was pretty cool. And then she says that there's the King of Terrors, which is King Ghidorah. King Ghidorah is coming to Earth. And it's funny because when I watched the first Rebirth of Mothra movie, I thought Ghidorah was some type of like maybe King Ghidorah, but this is the King Ghidorah. This is the Godzilla one we know, not like the Ghidorah one. Another thing is, then, you know, they shoot to like the family, our main characters. Once again, it's not the same cast, it's a totally different cast of characters, but these, I actually was surprised at how well the actors did. I mean, it was like pretty good. I enjoyed watching them, and the child actors, they were great. Actually, they were actually probably one of the best child actors I've ever seen in a kaiju film. And actually, it's just a film in general, actually. There's like a comet that obviously is King Ghidorah, and it shoots down and you know, on Earth, and you know, makes a big not a crater, but it just leaves like, you know, an imprint on it. And it's cool. There's one part where the fairy Mothra, the little one that carries the two fairies on her, she has like these cool scanner things that she was like scanning the ground and stuff, and they find out that the comet or something is like 30, what was it? A long time ago, something's like million years ago, that the dinosaurs had to do with the dinosaurs. And it was so funny to me, and they were saying like, you know, oh, it destroyed the dinosaurs, or the reason the dinosaurs are extinct was, and at first I thought, well, is it because of King Ghidorah? Did King Ghidorah kill the dinosaurs? And it actually turns out that yes, King Ghidorah was the reason that the dinosaurs are extinct, and I thought that was awesome. I was like, that's cool. That's cool. Let's see. And then King Ghidorah just starts flying and starts destroying the city, like no warning whatsoever. Just bam, just starts coming. And what's weird is that literally abducts children. Like King Ghidorah flies over you know, cities and stuff, and all the children start getting sucked up and getting abducted by that. I was like, whoa, why is he doing that? And also the costume design, the design of King Ghidorah, in my opinion, is the best. King Ghidorah looks amazing in this movie. I mean, just big, massive, terrifying monster. It was really great. Let's see. So the son, that he's our main hero, the main protagonist, he actually goes into the woods and he finds this big sphere. I thought it was like an egg at first, but it's like this huge sphere thing, and basically the children are inside that. The children that got abducted are actually inside this egg thing, and I guess they're just being harvested, and maybe they're gonna get eaten later or something like that. What's really cool, the kick-ass music is back. When they needed to call Mothra to help, they played that awesome Mothra theme and stuff. Another thing though, they also upped the ante with the costume design for the fairies, like the human characters, the Belvera and the Mole and Laura and stuff. They actually did the costume design was really awesome for it. And then obviously Mothra Leo / Rainbow Mothra's back, and just he's great as ever. I'm gonna try and remember to say he now because I know it's a guy. And then they get into a fight, and Mothra's fighting King Ghidorah and all that, and sadly, of course, Mothra gets his ass kicked again, but like really badly this time. And there was a part that really, I was like, whoa! I was caught off guard when like Mothra was on the ground, and then King Ghidorah just stomps. No, they're in midair. I remember they're in Mothra's flying, and King Ghidorah just plants her right onto the ground. I was just like, oh my god, no, and stuff like that, and I mean that just made me like super sad to see that. I mean, that was harsh, very harsh. But and another weird thing that I noticed is that Ghidorah's roar has the traditional Ghidorah sound, but it also has a remix to make it, a different style of King Ghidorah. But also, I heard Orga's roar in it, and surprisingly they used Orga's sound before they even made Godzilla 2000, so I thought that was pretty cool. And maybe if this movie came out in 1998, which we got a good kaiju film in Japan, bad kaiju film in America obviously, I bet that's maybe why Orga's roar was kind of like that sound, because they just used it for this movie, so maybe that might be it. They find out, well, Mothra is actually talking to the fairies and saying, look, I gotta go back in time and kill Ghidorah when he's like a teen or like a baby or something like that. And I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, huh, that's an interesting concept, Mothra going back in time. So they do the whole singing thing, and Mothra's like flying through like this, it looks like time-space warp tunnel and thing she's going through. She changes into Aqua Mothra really fast, and then she changes into Lightspeed Mothra, which is kind of like a different, varied version of Aqua Mothra, but she's just like, light speed, obviously. And so Belvera actually and one of the fairies get actually captured into that sphere also, and one of the good fairies, I think in the blue dress, she actually gets mind controlled somehow or something like that, and she actually is like evil for like just a little bit. It's not that long. But Mothra gets into the prehistoric age, and this is one of the funniest parts in the movie, is that these like animatronic dinosaurs are walking around, and like this big moth is flying. All the dinosaurs are like, what the hell is that? And but the best part is when they actually shown, I guess I would say like child King Ghidorah, and it was like, because like this dinosaur was chewing on this Triceratops, neck and stuff, like dinosaurs, and all of a sudden, Ghidorah, well, like young Ghidorah, like just totally bites the dinosaur and just lifts him up in his mouth and stuff, and that was pretty cool. And the design for the younger King Ghidorah was pretty cool too. I mean, the fact that they even had a battle with that was awesome. So sadly, Mothra is trying to fight him too, but he gets his ass kicked again by even the smaller Ghidorah, because he's ripping her wings. Like, there's this scene where literally they're in close and Ghidorah's just literally grabbing her wing, ripping chunks off her wing, and then grabbing her legs, and just, it's like, it was horrible to watch. But then she finally gets they finally get that one fairy to get back, herself, like, her heart. They need to get her heart back, because Mothra needed the power. And once Mothra finally got the power, once they got her figured out, then Mothra, she looked at the volcano, and then she basically took Ghidorah and literally grabbed him by the neck and just flew him up in went right into the volcano, and then it explodes, and then Mothra just flies out and lands on the ground, and sadly he dies. And I was like, really? Mothra has to die again? But what's cool is that then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a Mothra larva starts to come out, and actually it's like 3 Mothra larvae. They call prehistoric Mothra larvae, and they start shooting web on and starting to, cover up, dead Mothra. And apparently Mothra made like a time capsule thing or some kind of way to get back into the present time to fight off King Ghidorah. And Mothra managed to, it was kind of confusing when it happened, but she popped out of this rock, and then she turned into Armored Mothra, this was the best design of Mothra. It was so kick-ass. I was just like, oh my god, it looks awesome. And frankly, I thought about it, and I think if Godzilla had to fight Mothra as Armored Mothra, Godzilla would be in deep shit. I honestly believe that, because she owns Ghidorah. Like, when she's flying down, she starts cutting his wing up. She literally cuts his left wing totally off, and then she just flies into him, total anime style, just and then like this is kind of like a weight, and King Ghidorah actually starts freezing up, and then he just explodes out of nowhere. And that was awesome. Like, that last battle was pretty cool. And then after she does that, she changes into her last form, which is Eternal Mothra, which is just kind of like Armored Mothra, but it's more like, it just doesn't have armor, basically. It's just kind of like that. So I guess now she can change into Armored and then not be armored. So she has like different, ways that she can attack an enemy. But I mean, and then it just goes on to where the kids get out of the bubble, all the parents come and hug their kids, and it's all good, And Belvera is kind of a little bit of a good guy now. But, I mean, wow, what a ride with this movie. I mean, it was spectacular. The effects were great. I mean, from the second one, how it looked really cheap. But this one, no, the effects were amazing for the time. And the story was great. And the music was fantastic. They brought back scores from the first movie and brought it in. I mean, the actors were great. The story was compelling. It kept me hooked. I didn't feel like falling asleep through it like I did with the second one. I mean, it was really good. If you're any kind of Kaiju fan, buy this movie. I'm considering buying it now. I'm considering buying this trilogy because it's so good. And as a Kaiju trilogy, it's one of the finest. And this third movie is, I mean, it rivals. Listen, this is a Godzilla fan saying this. It rivals the best of Godzilla vs. Destroya with an awesome, compelling story. The first Godzilla movie, Godzilla 1984. I mean, it's that good of a Kaiju film. I mean, not just for a Mothra film, but actually just a Kaiju film. It's amazing. There's literally nothing wrong with this film. I couldn't find anything wrong with it. I loved it all, really. Now, the first one was amazing on its own, and I don't know if I had some nitpicks about it. The second one was definitely the worst out of it, because that one was just but this one, man, what a way to close off the trilogy. So, well, now that I'm done with watching this trilogy, it's cool. It's awesome to see a Kaiju film like this. Thank you, Ultra Mothra 1, for recommending me to watch all these movies. It was such a blast. So yeah, so if you guys haven't seen these movies, go watch them. They are worth your time. And that's it for my reviews for the Rebirth of Mothra trilogy. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and that's it, and I'll see you next time. Stay big, G fans and Mothra fans.